It doesn't come that easy anyway. Every time I try, it never feels the way it did at the start. This one for
What's up, everybody? So my name is Zach Levet, and today we're going to be going over some of my favorite high school races. I am in college right now. I'm a college freshman at the College of William & Mary, and I run D1 track and cross country here, and I have been racing a little bit, but not a ton. But now that the track season is starting, I need a little bit of run inspiration. I need to review some of my old races, see what I did wrong, see what I did right, and implement it this track season to have some great races and to just have some fun. So I picked out 3 of my favorite races for my senior track season, being my 800, a 1600, and a 3200. So I have the whole gamut. And all these are different races, and I like them for different reasons, and I'm showing you them for different reasons. And yeah, so some of them are fast, some of them are tactical, and some of them are just races. But before we dig into this commentary and get this all started, I want to note something. So the beard is around, it's a thing, it's going on right now. It's not Movember, but I do have a beard, and so I don't really know what to do with it. I'm kind of torn. I don't necessarily love it, but I don't hate it. And so I want to know your opinion. If you like the beard, smash like, and if you don't, then comment down below that you hate the beard, that you want me to shave it. But if we get over 1,000 likes, I will keep the beard for another week. So express your opinions down below, let me know what you think, and yeah, now it's time to get into the commentary. And my dad's calling. Okay, so now that I got that call out of the way, it is time to watch some races. So let's pull up the 800 and see what's happening. Okay, so the race got out pretty quickly. I'm not gonna lie, I was in the alley out on the far, and I definitely tried to put myself in a good position, but I may have put myself up a little too high. I can't really see exactly where I'm at, but I remember in the race I was definitely in the top 5, and so 2 packs quickly emerged, the guys that were trying to go sub 2, and then the other guys. And so there was a big pack of us there, and we were all kind of jostling about. It was interesting. I just remember the pain setting in pretty early in this race, and even though I'm saying third at the moment, it definitely wasn't the most comfortable third I'd ever been in. And so we're coming around this turn, and I'm thinking to myself, we're kind of flying. I mean, we still have another lap, and my legs aren't feeling amazing. I think I had either run another race the day before or something, but I see the clock and it says 56:57, and I thought to myself, maybe there's something wrong with this. Maybe the clock's fast. But I realized, nope, we were just running really fast, and so I decided to let a little gap emerge, and I actually intentionally slowed down a teeny bit because I knew I was going to burn out if I was going like that the entire time. And so I let a little gap emerge, but I think I slowed down a little too much because people just continued to pass me. And yeah, with about 200 meters to go, I thought to myself, maybe this race will get me kicked off the 4x8. I want to be on the 4x8, but every single guy that could potentially be in the 4x8 is slowly passing me. I'm slipping back into 6th, even 7th place. And yeah, and then the last 100 meters emerged, and I was like, you know what, I still have a lot of energy. What am I doing? So I decided to kick it in, but they decided to move the camera to the guy that was going to win the race or whatever. You know, I mean, nobody really cares about that because the whole race was going on behind this guy, and I ended up pulling through for 3rd place with a 1:58, which I was really proud of. It was a really good race for me, and all in all, I thought it was pretty good. It was really good tactics how I slowed down. It definitely isn't the best way to run an 800, but it was a good move to kind of conserve that energy to then be able to use it later when everyone else is dying. And so it ended up being a really good race for me, and something that I'm really proud of, breaking 2 in an open 800 for a guy that is definitely not an 800 meter runner, probably not even a mile runner, more so like 3,200, 5K, 10K. You know, I was pretty happy about this, and it was a good mark for me, even though some of you guys may be laughing at the fact that it was only a 1:58. It was a fun meet nonetheless, and now it is time to move on to our 1,600 meters. This was a 1,600 meter race at Lee Davis Invitational, which is a pretty cool meet. It happened every single year, and every single time I came to this race, somehow it ended up being a kicker's race. Either Bashir leading or Matthias leading ended up making it really slow, but then the last 800 being incredibly fast. And so the top guys would always run around like low 420s, and then I would run like 428. But this race was a little bit different because Matthias or Bashir, both of them were not in the race. And so I think Matthias was running the 800 or the 3200 this day. But this year it was just me, Jake, and Colby in this race. And so we were going at it, and I was just hoping to come away first for deep run. I didn't really have any overall plans for this race, but the race got out pretty well, and I was feeling super comfortable in the day in the first 400 meters. I knew it was kind of going to be a good day for me, and so I was sitting in second place, being comfortable, running hard-ish. And this obviously was not going to be another one of those slow races, because the guy in the front, Jacob Plummer, was demanding the pace, and he was not going to let it be a slow race. I knew that he wanted to run a little bit faster than maybe we did last year, and so he was pulling hard at the front, and I was definitely fine with it. I love sitting second. Sitting on somebody's shoulder is like my optimal position. I love just being right on somebody's shoulder. I get so much energy from it, and so I'm just sitting on his shoulder, really relaxing, really being comfortable in that position, coming through 600 meters. And yeah, we just continue on chugging through. And coming through about 700 meters, this guy named Philip Lambert ends up making a move to take the lead. And Philip is a really strong distance runner, especially in like the 5K. But, you know, for the mile, he's definitely not the strongest. And so I was interested to see this move. And I decided to react, because I knew if I didn't react now, Philip could end up taking the race. Because in states at cross country, this is exactly what happened. Philip made a huge move, made a huge surge to the front, and I decided to follow and then ended up out kicking him. So I was thinking, maybe this can be that same race. Maybe I can do it again, even though there's the mile, completely different race. Maybe this could be a good win for me. I'm not really good at winning track races or races in general. I do usually run pretty fast, but just never get in a good position to win. And so, you know, I was thinking to myself, this could be a big day for me, big time to win. But you'll see what happens soon. We continue chugging away, and you know, Philip is leading. I'm just sitting on him, sitting second position, right where I like to be. My friend Jake moves up right behind us, and then Colby is trailing along. The guy in the green shorts, you have to keep your eye out for him, because this is the last lap and everybody is kicking it in. And so I'm sitting right on Philip's shoulder, and I'm thinking to myself, this could be it. This could be it. I could really kick him down. And so there's about 300 meters left coming up, and I think to myself, what if I kick now? And I was like, why wait? And so as you can see, I went for it, and I really went for it. I put in a hard surge, but as you can see, Adam Sachs from Maggie Walker came up right behind me, and little did I know he was right behind me. To be honest, I thought to myself that, dang, I'm in the clear, I've got it. But obviously I was a little too confident, and Adam passed me, and I was freaking out mentally. I was like, I can't lose it now, I can't lose it now. And so I'm putting on the afterburners, but there was no catching Adam. Adam was flying, and so I was just trying to hold my own, and so we were just kind of cranking it in to the finish. And as you can see, we are just really hauling. And this ended up being one of the fastest miles I've ever run. Technically, it was a 4:25, and so I'm pretty happy about that race overall. In the grand scheme of things, it was the second fastest mile I've ever run. I've run a 4:21 and then that 4:25, and so I was pretty happy about this race. It was definitely not the best race in the world, because I didn't get the win, because I don't know, I was being a little foolish going at 300 meters. If I had maybe held back a little bit, waited for Adam to pass, sat on him, and then made my move, it might have been even better. But overall, I was really happy with it, and at the time, it was a good 3-second PR, and so I was super happy about that, and I had prom that night, so it was just going to be a great day overall. And yeah, so that was that race. I was happy about it, but it definitely wasn't the perfect race. Okay, so there was a quick intermission so I could go to class. It was pretty boring, but I am back to finish this video up and watch the 3,200 meter race, which I'm really excited to do. But before I do, I want to read off the people in the race, because it was a pretty impressive field to say the least. So I'm going to read off the person's name and then some of their accolades. But basically every single person in this race had some form of a state championship to their name. Pretty much everyone did, so it was pretty crazy. So let me read off some of these names. The first is Sam Affolter from Loudon Valley. Obviously, don't need to do too much explaining there. Foot Locker finalist, and he has been an NXN champion with his team. John Tatter, NXN individuals champion. Jacob Hunter, obviously the brother of Andrew Hunter. And then we have Nolan Harris, who goes to UVA now. And then we have Matthias Cannon, who was my teammate, who ended up going to Virginia Tech. And then we have Benjamin Nieblich, who ended up going to Virginia Tech. We have Yard McConan, who went to NC State, and then we have Jake Rimfrey, who was a Foot Locker finalist. But yeah, pretty stacked lineup to say the least. This was a really incredible race. So let me stop talking and let's start watching. Okay, so as you can see, I was standing there. I was pretty close to the inside lane, and there was another stagger filled with the fastest guys. I was honestly pretty nervous for this race because, I don't know, I had never really run to my potential in the 3200, and I knew that this race was going to be fast with the insane field that was here. And so yeah, I just was ready for a fast race, and the gun went off and we were rolling. The pace was not slow by any means, and the race did not seem like it was going to be slowing down at any point, considering that some of these guys in the front were shooting to go under 9 minutes. Early on, Benjamin Nieblich took the lead, which was pretty impressive, and for it being such a competitive field, that is definitely very, very courageous of you, to say the least. I was kind of chilling in the back, as you can see. I was definitely not working to be at the front because I knew that the pace was going to be hot no matter what. Even if I was chilling at the back of the pack and if there were no separations, it would be a fast race for me. And so I was kind of just hanging out there with, you know, the Peter Morris and Jacob Hunter pack there, and the race kind of separated, but not really. And so we came through at about 70 seconds, which is 440 pace for any of you guys that don't know. I thought that was pretty fast for the first lap of a 3200, but I felt good in it, and I was really excited to continue racing. As you can see, the race was super strung out early on, and this is a sign of a really fast race, and it definitely was. So I was sitting way in the back, but I decided to make a move up at this point because I thought that, you know, it'd probably be smarter to move up, make sure I wasn't dropping off, but I did know I was in good company. I saw a bunch of the people that I usually race with, and I knew that I was in a good place. It felt very comfortable in this race, and just like having all the people around me that I've raced with and knowing all these good people, being close to them made me feel like this was going to be a good race. And so I was just trying to hang in there, trying to stay in the pack, all I could do to stay in there, and we continued cruising. At this point, I reconnected with Matthias, who was my teammate, and it was really good to get back with him because we trained a lot together and we were friends, and so it was just kind of comforting to be near him and racing with him. And so we were kind of linked up. I was trying to stay on his hip. I knew he was a better rider than me, so I was just trying to, you know, keep myself in a good position, keep myself in a place where I knew that I could be racing to my best. And so obviously running with somebody that I know is faster than me was a good place to be, and Peter Morris was there with us, so it was a pretty solid race tactic at the moment. At this point, the lead pack is about to come through a mile, and they're coming through at a hot 4:34, which is pretty incredible, and I came through at 4:38, which I was pretty shocked by because usually, you know, my 3200s, I don't come through faster than 4:40, but obviously this was a different day, different race. I was coming to PR, coming to run well. You can't really see me at this point, but Jack Eikenberry passed me, and I was just trying to hang with him, trying to stay in it, but my legs were definitely feeling it. Coming through in a 4:39, 4:38 definitely kind of made me a little bit jaded, and so I was a little worried about the rest of the race. And as you can see, John Tatter and Sam Affolter were going at it at the front. The race continued to string out, and John Tatter and Sam Affolter just kept running it. There was the big chase pack there, and then I was just kind of a straggler. I honestly was feeling pretty dead at this point. With 3 laps to go, I didn't know what was going to happen. In the back of my mind, I thought this might just be a super bad race where I die and run like 940 again. And honestly, that's what I thought was about to happen. I continued just racing strong, trying to make moves when I felt a little bit of energy, but really I was super dead from that first mile. And as much as I wanted to feel good, I just physically couldn't will myself to. But I continued racing and hoping that things would get better. It was finally the bell lap, and as you can tell, I was pretty exhausted. As you can see, John Tatter was trying to take the dub early and went for a hard kick, kind of like me in the 1600 meters. But Sam Affolter had different plans, and with 200 meters to go, he really put on the burners. And as you can see, he passed Tatter for the win. I'm not going to lie, John Tatter's not going to come back from that. And Sam Affolter went on to run 8:59, which is just insane, and Tatter was 9:0. which is just a really fast race. It'll be a while till I come in, so let's just watch some of these finishers as they run really fast times. So as you can see, there's my teammate Matthias, and then we have Yard, and we have Nieblink, and then we have Owens, and then we have some Long Valley guys, and then we have Jack Eikenberry, and then another guy, and then another guy, and then another guy, and then me. And so there we go, 9:28, which was my all-time best in high school, which I was pretty happy about. I mean, technically, I guess it wasn't my all-time best because I beat it by a decimal at states, but pretty much my best time in high school. And it was a really big breakout race for me because it really allowed me to then start racing at that level. Just having that one race that pushed me outside my comfort zone then allowed me to race at such a higher level. I had just unlocked a new version of myself, which was really interesting to see, and to be honest, I was really happy how it played out. So that is all for my races. I hope you've enjoyed watching them and seeing the different tactics and races that I've had. I'm definitely going to make another video in the coming weeks that kind of breaks down racing tactics for track and has some racing advice, so stay tuned for that. That's going to be really exciting and hopefully have some really valuable information. But for now, I hope this served as some good run-spiration for your upcoming races. So race super well, have some amazing races in the coming weeks. I'll talk to you soon. As usual, live happy, be healthy. I'll see you next Tuesday.